it's good. I think maraming nangyayari and I'm here for it. 2 years. I mean, since 2023, I've taken a step back and really tried to enjoy everything. Enjoy the moment, be it the moment. But now, I think, marami pa yung stuff na kailangan gawin. For this week, we have food delivery. Shout out to Dear Diet. Thank you so much for the discount. It really helps with eating clean. For today's breakfast, we're gonna eat the lunch from yesterday, which is the Vietnamese bun cha, which is noodles and meat and whatever. I think you can eat this cold. What I like about your diet is well, no-brainer na siya. But masarap pa rin yung food niya. What I don't like about meal delivery in general is nakakasawa. You have to eat at home all the time. And we're big foodies, so sometimes it's also not in our interest to eat. I think the meat is meant to be eaten warm. Tapos yung noodles, it's meant to be eaten cold. So, initin natin yung meat. Tagal nang nagde-Dear Diet si Romeo. And I think for a time ako din, nagde-Dear Diet din ako nung pandemic. Kasi nakakatamad magluto. Tapos pahirapan yung deliveries. Pero ako, I don't regularly do Dear Diet because nasasawa nga ako sa lasa. So, enough na sa amin yung isa yung mag-order. Tapos, you just eat it together kasi we also eat out. Okay, that looks good. So aside from maraming ganap, kumakati rin yung pa ako. Meaning, I want to travel while Romeo's out of the country. But ayokong gumastos masyado. Because, I feel like our travel budget is extremely high this year. Especially me. So, I'm planning a trip to Baguio, which is in the northern Philippines. Palit tayo ng lighting because I learned that nakaka-OC talaga yung lighting, and since ako yung nag-edit ng videos ko, I'm trying to hone this craft. I want to make the effort to make the frames pretty, then that includes lighting. So, wait shall I tell you how to plan a trip to Baguio? Wait, di pa organize yung thoughts ko. Let me just write that down on my phone. I'm planning a trip to Baguio by myself or with a companion, which is parang gusto ko sumama ng nanay ko. But let's see how everything falls into place. This is how to plan a trip to Baguio. Number one, of course, the most important is you choose your travel dates wisely. It is now September 20. So we're going to the Burr months. It's gonna be a little bit colder up in the north already. But the ideal times to visit are during November until February. Or during there's also this festival in Baguio that you can go to. It's called the Panagbenga. You can also go there. The thing is about Baguio, because it's such a popular destination, I wouldn't recommend long weekends, and especially Holy Week. I think Holy Week is the worst time to visit Baguio. Kasi most crowded. That's the most crowded Baguio can be. But people still like it. I think depende na lang sa preference mo. But yeah, it's gonna be chaos. Number 2, decide on the transportation. Since I'll be likely alone or with my mom, we're just gonna take the bus, which is 3 to 4 hours. I'm eyeing Victory Liner or Solid North. I've looked at the fares, so it can range from 700 pesos to 1,500 depending on anong klaseng bus, what kind of bus you're gonna take. So yun. It's easy to travel to Baguio because the highways going there are already developed, and it's easy also because it's a popular destination. There's a market of people going back and forth, so there's so many trips going up north. Okay, next is accommodations. Yesterday I spent some time just watching some reviews and looking at accommodations that will suit what I want to do in Baguio. So madami talagang options. There's a mix of hotels, there's Airbnbs, there's really luxurious lodges. I think I've stayed in all of them except for one type of accommodation. I haven't stayed in a hostel. But I haven't decided yet what accommodation I'll take, but I'm leaning towards getting just a hotel room, a budget hotel room. So if once you decide, you can already book ahead, especially if it's peak season or it's weekend. The ideal location is around the Burnham Park. That's the center of the tourism spots, but you can also book like the accommodations in Camp John Hay or the other areas depending on what your itinerary is. Number 4, plan must-visit spots. So this is not my first time in Baguio, but I haven't been there as much as the people from Metro Manila go. I've been there maybe twice, thrice in my whole life. So I've gone to the quintessential Baguio must-see spots. The intent for this particular trip, I wanted to see the northern blossoms. Baguio is known for having the plantations of the flowers, and all of the fresh cut flowers are driven from the farms in Baguio to the flower market here in Manila. So that's what I want to do as a main objective for the trip. Next is map out the dining options. Marami talagang kainan sa Baguio. The food is really fresh. There's like the public market. You can get a lot of food there. I think that even if I don't plan anything, we'll just probably end up in good restaurants anyway. But similar to the one or two spots that I want to see, I'm just also gonna put in the 1, 2, or 3 restaurants that I want to eat at. But yeah, and then everything else will just free flow. And then in the Philippines, there's only 2 seasons. There's sunny and there's rainy. So now in September, we are in the rainy season. So we will be packing weather appropriate clothing and stuff. Doesn't get so cold. I think the lowest temperature that I've experienced there, mga 12 degrees. But it can go as low as like single digits, I think. But I don't think it's gonna be ice 0, like 5 level. At this point. So yeah. Kaya jackets and layers are always good, and at least I can use the heat tech items that I purchased earlier this year. Next is budget wisely. Similar to the options that you have in terms of accommodation, you can spend little to a lot in Baguio because it can be done on a budget because there's like so many transient houses, there's hostels, but there are really bougie and expensive luxury accommodations which are worth it. Typically kasi people go to Baguio as a family, so I think those are the ones that are pretty expensive. So you rent out a whole house, an Airbnb. So for me, I'll just be mindful of the cost of transport, food, activities, and accommodation. I don't the reason why Baguio was an option because I really don't want to overspend. Next is we're gonna explore the local market. We're gonna visit Baguio market for the fresh produce and pasalubong, and like just enjoy the local delicacies that you can't find here in Manila. So there. So there's strawberries, there's peanut brittle. Ano pa bang meron na dun lang nakikita? Madami naman. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to enjoy the laid-back vibe of Baguio. And then I don't want it to be such a stressful trip. I want to explore, I want to relax. I want to just have a change of scenery. So yeah, let's plan our trip. Hopefully the next vlog or the next segment will be in Baguio already.